We are now in section 7, the recommendations for practice success. The syllabus here is to apply the recommendations for release management success and how they are supported by the ITIL guiding principles. Whenever organizations use the content of the practice guides, they should always follow the 7 ITIL guiding principles. Focus on value, start where you are, progress iteratively with feedback, collaborate and promote visibility, think and work holistically, keep it simple and practical, optimize and automate. In the exam, you could have one question on the application of these recommendations. And we have 2 slides, this one and the subsequent one, which go through these recommendations. The first one is to design and optimize the practice for the value streams. As we know, value streams need to be considered in a holistic manner rather than isolated activities or practices within a single value stream. Release management, by the way, is a part of the change life cycle. However, the change itself has a purpose defined by the overall value stream. Therefore, understanding the value stream context or scenario helps to plan and coordinate releases with the maximum value for the organization. And because we were discussing value here, the focus on value principle is key here. And also, as I mentioned earlier, value streams need to have holistic considerations end to end. Therefore, think and work holistically is another principle that needs to be applied here. The next one is when releases involve interactions with users, ensure the best user experience possible. Release management, though it appears to be technical, in order to make services available to users, it is a part of the user journey and impacts user experience, which means it's closely connected with the user experience and the user journey. Therefore, the service provider should understand and continually improve the release-related experience for the users, even if it means making releases invisible to users. So what that means is, the invisibility means sometimes the service provider may be pushing those updates and the users may or may not be even realizing that there has been an update. Then, and because this is about the user experience, therefore we have focus on value as one of the principles, but also understanding the user requires collaboration with them. Therefore, collaborate and promote visibility is also listed there. Then we have reviewing the effectiveness of release models, which means do not limit the release reviews to only the major or unsuccessful releases. It needs to be a regular review activity, and therefore it can contribute to the continual improvement of the practice. And the release reviews will foster feedback, including user feedback and facilitating the improvement. Therefore, progressing iteratively with feedback is a good principle that is relevant here because each review will bring in improvements based on the feedback. And also the feedback needs to be from stakeholders through various forums. And therefore, collaboration and promoting visibility also comes in. Start with the most important products and services is the next recommendation. Note that the most important products and services need to be started with for the release management practice success. And as we know, different products and different services take on different release models for their release implementation. And it may not be possible to develop all release models at the same time. So begin with the products and services that are the most important for the organization and that are most often or frequently updated. Afterwards, move on to the release models for the most common product architectures. So start with the most important one and then go to the most common architectures based products. Therefore, progress iteratively with feedback is still applicable here as we move from one phase to another with those products and services to be released using different models. And then, but start where you are. So start with where you are in your practice. There may be some good roles or methodologies being used already, but based on them, enhance it to go into the most important products and services, and then followed by the most common product architectures. Here we have 3 more recommendations on this slide. The first one, do not overcomplicate the practice, which means keep it simple and practical. That is the principle that is relevant here. And that means do not try to create a model for every possible scenario. Have the optimal number of release models And keep them practical, applicable to a wide range of products and services. There may be some release instances where you may have to perform some specific or ad hoc release planning, and you can do that, particularly for physical components. Then the next recommendation is to integrate release management in the CI/CD pipeline for digital products. And when we say or mean CI/CD tools, then we have the principle of optimize and automate the complete pipeline. So, which means where applicable, reap the benefits of the CI/CD techniques and technologies, the continuous integration and continuous delivery and deployment. But there are scenarios possible where these techniques cannot be applied, and therefore you may need other automation tools rather than just the CI/CD tools. For example, the usual software development, testing, packaging, and release tools, etc. Then we have the last recommendation, demonstrate business value. And this is about measuring the practice using metrics and producing regular reports and dashboards for both internal and external stakeholders. Dashboards can be useful to reflect or understand the current status, and the regular reports for analysis and highlights to stakeholders. So focus on value because it's about demonstrating business value. Note that the business value can be demonstrated only when the releases are implemented in a successful manner. Just the reporting and measurement will not demonstrate value. And collaborate and promote visibility because this is making the performance visible to stakeholders through the dashboards and reports.